Alright, listen up everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
Nice one, Carl. As if Kimi Räikkönen is actually going to take development seriously. He's the kid in the group who just lets everyone else do the assignment and then takes all the credit at the end. Welcome guys to another episode of F1 3019 Career Mode. This is the Belgian Grand Prix. We're here for another potentially exciting race. We've got some... we had some developments in the pipeline. Looks like that's fouled. That was the ultimate front downforce upgrade that was set to go on the car in time for this race. So that's going to be setting us back another race meeting, unfortunately. The areas that have been affected, though, are the downforce and the chassis. So that's a lot of upgrades to recuperate over the course of the next 9 weeks. So I don't know if we'll actually be able to recover all of those. I still want to push forward with development to try and catch the likes of Haas and Alfa Romeo. But before we get into this video proper, I just want to draw your attention to my merchandise drop, which is closing today. I think I'm uploading this at 2 p.m. So the drop is set to close at 6 p.m. today. So in 4 hours time, if you're watching this as soon as the video goes up, today is your last opportunity to cop some merch. Link in the description. Thank you to everyone who has supported us so far with the one drop with Veloce. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, practice went through fine. The two Renaults were fighting over the same piece of racetrack, which was interesting. The one lap pace was a lot better here, so I thankfully have a much better package here. The areas we are lacking is downforce, and that was definitely exposed in the last Grand Prix. This circuit is entirely a power circuit, so I'm hoping we can have much better fortunes here, and hopefully we can take the fight to Alfa Romeo and Haas, especially as we head into Monza. We'll wait and see. It's time for quali. Fresh components are going on. Let's go.
It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar. Long straights, up and downhill, Eau Rouge as well. This track isn't for the faint-hearted.
Alright, so here we are for qualifying 1. We should be able to breeze through this session, given that we topped out FP2. So I'm looking forward to a pretty easy run, and we do get that. P2 actually in qualifying, so we're able to back up the practice form into Saturday qualifying, which is sometimes a bit of a rarity for me, but it looks like the pace is continuing to be there, which is an encouraging sign. We move on to Q2. They're actually running with the medium tyre in order... Well, I'm just testing the waters to see if I can get away with starting the race on the harder compound and then doing something a little bit different in the race. But we go P10, which is not bad. We're purple in the first and third sector. But as you look to the middle sector, we lose 2 seconds there, such as the lack of downforce and, of course, the medium not being as great through the middle sector, which I found to be very interesting. So we are, I don't know, an absolute beast on the straights, but still need to work on that overall downforce, and we just about get through to Q3. I went out again for a set of softs to just make sure that I could make it through to the next session. I actually ran out of time. So that was a bit bad on my part, but we squeezed through. Räikkönen in P4. He's only 3/10 away from the pace setters. So the Ferrari, despite not bringing any upgrades to this racetrack, is proving to be a really formidable package at this racetrack. So I'm hoping we can get, I don't know, at least get a podium. Dare I say it, maybe even challenge for the win if this medium to soft compound tyre strategy can work out for us. But qualifying 3, just setting a bank of time at the moment. Wow, just on the bubble there with Nico Hülkenberg, who's on provisional pole at the moment. We are very, very fast in the first and third sectors, so you would hazard a guess to say that we might actually topple Hülkenberg's time here, considering we're very fast. Verstappen into the 39s, nearly bordering on a 38. We actually got Lewis Hamilton in our tow behind us, so he might be getting pulled along for a very handy lap for himself. We come across the line and we go P7. Hamilton gets the fastest lap of the weekend, so we definitely did help Hamilton there. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt us. We move on to our final run here in Q3, and this is where we're going to lay out all the cards on the table Could have done a slightly better lap at the start of the session, but, you know, it doesn't matter too much if you have a scruffy run on your banker. It's just as long as you can make sure you rectify that the next time you go out, which is what we're trying to do. We're 2.5 tenths up on our previous best. Really nice run through Pouhon there, using up all the exit space. This is, again, where we lose out a lot of time. The front end is, I don't know, sliding around a little bit. I've definitely set up the car for low downforce, and we lack downforce as well compared to the other team. So it really does compound the setup issues we're having with this car at this racetrack. But I've gone for the mantra of low downforce because we want to be able to overtake, we want to be able to defend in the race, and make sure that life is a whole lot more easier for us in that way. I think last season at Belgium, I went with too much downforce, and it made life very difficult when it came to overtaking and getting past some cars. So we won't have that issue today, hopefully. Open the DRS, run up to the line. We improve by near on 5 tenths, and it gets us P2, front row of the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. And the man who beat us is Lewis Hamilton. The guy who we gave slipstream to on the opening run. So, without that, we might have got pole position, because Lewis rarely outperforms Lucas Weber in qualifying. He's managed to do so by 2 tenths there. So I feel like we certainly helped him. He was mega fast in the middle sector, was in striking range and in the slipstream, and made the most of it in the third sector, I'd say. So he's on pole. I feel like we should have probably the best package on the grid when you consider that form in qualifying. But we'll wait and see. Heading into the race, starting on the medium tyre. Who knows? Anything's possible.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we kick off by discussing Kevin Magnussen? They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when right off the bat you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
Okay, La Source is always pretty tight, but we've got a clear run. Remember the runoff if you need it.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Everyone's going to hate me for this comment, but I feel like turn 1 in this race is going to be very La Saucy. So let's see how it goes. I'm so sorry, I had to make it. But anyway, medium tyres to softs. We are going to finish off this race in the fastest way possible. Hopefully gun for fastest lap, and maybe, if we're lucky, go for the win up against the Alfa Romeos. I think Hulkenberg is a little further down the order. Not sure how Sebastian Vettel was doing in terms of his pace. Raikkonen didn't have a good run in Q3. He got P10, so really didn't back up the early form that he was showing earlier on in the weekends. But for us, we're going to run minimum fuel to run out this race. The Ferrari engine is really good on its fuel consumption, so we're going to have a lighter car. And this is all in an effort to actually keep up with those around us who are going to be on a softer compound of tyre. But here we go to 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix. And it is underway for the 3rd time in our career. Not a great start. I was never anticipating a great start after being on a harder, colder compound, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's not been a great start. Losing 2 positions already off the line. Verstappen slides into P3. Let's see if we can overtake him here as we run up Radion for the first time. And we're already soaring past him before we go past the DRS activation zone. Can we get Lucas Weber as well around the outside now as we head into Lacombe? That is P2 for the taking. Thank you very much. And now we can set our sights after Lewis Hamilton once again. So the early stages of this race are going to be very testing for us. We have a harder compound of tyre. These guys, the delta is 5, 6 tenths, maybe even more. It's a long circuit around here, so there's a lot of time that can be lost over the course of the lap. And like I said, in qualifying, we were 2 seconds slower in the middle sector. However, that delta will rapidly come down as tyre wear is quite harsh around this place. So it could only be a matter of 2, 3, 4 laps before the medium tyre phases in, and we're back on the money again up against these guys on their diminishing softs. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'd imagine that everyone at this stage in the career mode will do the one stop to make it to the end of this race. Early stages though, still struggling, can't really keep pace with the Alphas, and I'm actually falling into the clutches of Charles Leclerc here, who's looking pretty racy at this stage. We squeezed out Verstappen on the last lap, I think, and he lost a couple of places, so that's unfortunate for him. We lose the back end as we go through late. I've forgotten that corner name. I've just had a blank, but it gave Leclerc half a chance of getting onto the podium there. We managed to withstand that pressure, and we continue on at the end of the third lap. Here comes Charles Leclerc once again. A great exit for him coming out of the final corner. The battery deployment for him is absolutely awesome as we defend to the inside. He's still out there on our left-hand side, so we have to leave a little bit of space, but hopefully we can keep him at bay. He looks like he's going for a bit of an overlap here as we run up our Rouge and Radeon for the third time. That's a track extension. Wow. Okay, that was a bit of a lazy corner. I didn't gain anything from that, but that's one warning against our name in this race. We'll need to watch out for that. Leclerc going for a dive now into the really understeery corner, which I don't know. I know this one because it doesn't have a name, and we can all get away with saying no name. But there we go. P3 once again. The Alphas are getting away. Looks like Hamilton has the measure on his teammate for once. Really pacey around this Grand Prix circuit, so that is very surprising. But lap time wise, we're just keeping an eye on that. Only 1/10 away from the Delta. We are starting to level out our pace now. You'd imagine that we should be able to get faster and faster as this race bears on, because the fuel load will come down. Tyre wear, at least on this compounded tyre, isn't that harsh, so we should be able to run quite deep into the race, and then just put on the softs whenever we feel like it'll make it to the end, really. At lap 7, we're now starting to unlock the potential of the medium tyre. We went and did a personal best, and even a purple sector in Sector 3. So the tyres are now finally starting to switch on, and we are closing the gap now to the Alfa Romeos, but I wonder if it's just a little bit too late now. We're 8 laps into this race, nearing the halfway stage, and you'd have to say that they're nearing their pit stop window, if not already in it.
Weber ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 3.1 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:43.3. We're gaining by around 2/10 per lap.
2/10. 2/10 lap. That is, that's not much at Spa. That is a very small margin. I hope that gap can come down massively over the course of the next couple of laps, but Weber is already in. So I don't know. I feel like if we were going to make the most of these medium tyres, it was going to be now. The gap was about 3.5 seconds to Weber just before he made his stop, and he's already gone onto the mediums. He's going to have fresher tyres for the rest of this race. It's going to take a bit of a miracle now for us to win this one. We're going to have to put in some qualifying style laps to stay in contention. But yeah, I'm disappointed, to be honest. After the pace that we showed in qualifying, I really felt that we'd be able to be in the game a bit more earlier on in this race, but the pace is still there. We're still very, very close to our personal best lap of the race, so I'm hoping that we can just keep pushing and the tyres can hold out for a long time. Here comes Lucas Weber, freshly out of the pits. Hamilton just made his stop as well, and I think Hamilton maintains the lead out of the 2 Alfa Romeos, with him being on the fresher tyre and having track position now. You would say that Hamilton has the ascendancy in this race. So hopefully he can take some points away from Weber in this one. But yeah, in terms of my pace, it seems to still be good. I'm slowly starting to find a bit of a second wind with these tyres. It's actually kind of odd. We're starting to unlock a bit of pace again. You can see that was a 43.1, so not really far away at all from our optimal pace. That's Sector 1 was actually pretty good. That was better than what we've managed so far. And again, another personal best. So yeah, we're definitely phasing in with the tyres as well. I think they're not really wearing out too much either. They're only about 30-odd%. So at the moment, when you compare the gap to Hamilton behind, he came out about 12 and a half seconds behind us, and we're actually maintaining the gap to him. So that is very impressive when you consider that he's on, 10 lap fresher medium tyres. We're able to hold the gap quite nicely. So it may set us up quite well for the second half of this race, as yeah, they weren't able to make the gains that I thought they were. And it's a very short pit lane here in Spa, so we might be emerging still fairly close to the likes of these two guys. There they are, rejoining in the lead as we make our stop. Hamilton leading by about 2 seconds over Lucas Weber. We're coming out of the pit lane now, and Weber is only just up the road. You can see him right there, and we're on the soft compound tyre to round out this race. 7 laps left in this Belgian Grand Prix, and I tell you what, our pace, our consistency at the halfway stage of this race may have just kept us in the game of winning this Grand Prix. So let's see what we can do. Fresh tyres now. Let's gun it. Looks like Lucas is gunning it as well because he realizes that there's a hard-charging Ferrari coming for him. 6 laps left in this race. And yeah, I really fancy my chances of possibly winning this Grand Prix. If we can get in the toe of Lucas Weber, we'll be able to fly past him because we're running like 3.5 wings. AI, don't know what they run, but I'd imagine it's a little bit higher than that, so we should have the straight line edge over those guys. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a clear second ahead of those guys. So yeah, you'd have to imagine that these guys won't have any chance of keeping us behind. The thing that we might need to worry about though is later on in the Grand Prix, our own tyre wear. Will we have enough left in the tank to go for a charge on Lewis Hamilton? Here's Weber going defensive already into the bus stop, so he's under pressure in this Belgian Grand Prix. We've still got 5 laps left in this race. Plenty of time. Do we have plenty of life left in the tyres? We'll have to wait and see. Saving a bit of fuel. Like I said, I went for the absolute bare minimum of fuel that I could put in the car. I think 2 or 3 laps less, and we've managed to save it over the course of this Grand Prix, being very conservative with our fuel. But now we're going to utilize it. Rich fuel mixture. Overtake mode is engaged. We squeeze around the outside of Lucas Weber there. Was a bit unsure as to where he was going there. We just about slide into P2 there. And here's the replay. Yeah, was taking absolutely no chances there. Gave him a very wide berth around the outside. Nearly put ourselves in the wall, no less. But we got it done, and we are now into P2. I need to catch my breath because this is a very intense Grand Prix. It's been a long time since we've been able to fight for the lead, and I mean chase down the leaders for the lead. None of this defending the position to hold on to the win through strategy. This is legitimate pace that we are showing up against the Alphas. Here we go, 3 laps left in this race. Hamilton is looking vulnerable as he goes defensive into Les Combes. We're going to win this race. Are we? No, I shouldn't say that. We are not. Nothing is guaranteed in this sport, and I will do my absolute best to earn this race victory if I can. He's going defensive again, just in unnecessary areas, just putting himself under pressure when he possibly doesn't need to. But now we're going to utilize all of the battery, all of the fuel, a nice run up Radeon, open the DRS, and this should be the lead of the Grand Prix. It is. We've taken it with 2 laps to go, and we give Hamilton a bit of a how you going there as we head into the middle sector. We now lead the Belgian Grand Prix. I can't believe the recovery we have made in this Grand Prix after the slow start, getting overtaken by Verstappen, under pressure from Leclerc, and we managed to reel it in and absolutely romp away with this race. The tyre wear on this car is amazing and has really kept us in the game. But last lap of the Grand Prix, here comes Hamilton. This will be a real good test to see if the Alpha has anything, and straight line speed wise, they don't hold a candle to Ferrari, so we're able to keep the lead with relative ease there as we lose the back end there through the exit stage of Les Combes, just trying to maybe push the tyres a little bit too much. I'm not going to lie, I was going for a faster lap, but I think I should probably calm down and reel things in a little bit. We've only got half a lap to go, or less than that. Just one more straight to separate us from a second victory in Season 3 of F1 2016 career mode. We only won 2 races last season, and we are already on target to level that through the bus stop chicane. And this is going to be quite the victory, quite the comeback. We have managed to upset Alpha at Belgium.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
So So there we go, guys. That has been the Belgian Grand Prix for Season 3 of F1 1319 Career Mode. Alright, I'm going to stop with that. It's not funny. So, yeah, I couldn't believe it. The comeback was real. After the opening couple of laps, the slow start to the race, I was thinking more about how I could defend P3. I had my eyes kind of looking behind more than what I was looking forward. But as soon as the leaders stopped and put on their mediums, their pace, I don't know, it wasn't really electrifying, was it? They weren't setting purple laps. They weren't pulling away. If anything, we were just holding the gap, and it allowed us to be close enough to be in striking distance when we put on the soft tyres, and we absolutely stomped them.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season.
You bet I will. Heading into Monza, that is the kind of momentum we are looking for. But, you know, I gotta say, these kind of results are only going to be few and far between, especially with the package that we've got at the moment. Our car is very much a replica of the real-life Ferrari. Straight line speed prowess is there, but the downforce just quite isn't. We need to get that ultimate front downforce upgrade on. We need to get the rear ultimate downforce upgrade on as well, and then we might be more of a, I don't know, we might be more of a threat at, you know, some traditional circuits. So that'll be the aim. We'll chuck on the front downforce upgrade now. That's going to be a hefty 700 points to upgrade, and that'll come for the next race in Monza. Now, I know what you're saying. Why put the ultimate downforce upgrade on at a power track? We're going to do that so we could possibly even run like 1-1 wings at Monza and not really suffer downforce-wise. I don't know. It might work, but it does give us flexibility if we do so choose to do that. In terms of the other upgrades, the only major one we've got now to do is I think it's major drag reduction upgrade, so we might go for that at some stage. Ooh. Brake upgrade? Why not? Let's chuck that on for Singapore as well. So it looks like we're going to have the major brake upgrade for Singapore. The rear downforce is coming for Singapore. The front downforce is coming for the next race in Monza. So our championship campaign, or chase for the championship, if you will, might begin in Singapore. But it may be coming at a sacrifice of next year's car. I don't know. I think I might go full send. I'll try and recover what I can, but I'm going to push for this championship if we can get it. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. Heading into Monza, I want to win that Grand Prix so much. My first opportunity to win at Monza in a Ferrari in what has been over 5 real-life years. So let's make sure we seize this opportunity and put Lucas under the same pressure that he was putting on us this time last season. Before I go, merch, link in description. I'll see you next time.